Have you ever thought about how leaving a narcissist really affects them? Real talk. They don't just forget about you. Your removal rocks their world in ways they didn't expect. Hey everyone, welcome back. If this is your first time here, please subscribe, like, and share this movie with someone who might look for it useful. We're building a group of people who know how hard it is to deal with narcissists together. Today we're going to talk about a question that a lot of people have. When does the narcissist start to miss you? You might be thinking, do they even care? Whether you were thrown out or made the brave decision to leave, that it's true that the hole you leave behind is bigger than they'll ever admit. Stay with me as I talk about how your choice to walk away challenges their carefully constructed front and leaves a lasting impact. Don't miss this. Narcissists can make it seem like they've moved on in the blink of an eye when they dump you, or when you finally give up and say enough is enough. You might see them brag about a new supply on social media, or you might notice that they've stopped talking to you all of a sudden, as if they didn't know you were there. It's a very upsetting experience that makes you wonder how deep your relationship really is, and how real everything you shared was. You might feel like the time you spent together was just a brief part of their story, but this looks good on the surface, but it's not. There is a lot more going on than their apparent lack of interest. When someone as important as you isn't there, it leaves a hole in their life that they might not realize or fully understand right away. The most interesting thing about a narcissist's reaction to your leaving is how quickly it starts to affect them. They might act like they don't care about anything, but their real feelings are very different. For a narcissist, the attention, approval, and energy you gave them were not just nice things about the relationship. They were lifelines. They needed your mental support, physical presence, or just the stability you brought to their otherwise chaotic life. These things became important to their sense of control and superiority. People are aware of the loss of these supply sources, even if they don't want to say it out loud. Once a narcissist dumps you, it's not because they've found someone better. Instead, they usually do it because they think the next person will be easier to control, less demanding, or more willing to meet their needs. This opinion comes from the fact that they see relationships in a very shallow and transactional way. Narcissists don't judge others based on their true traits or how well they get along with others. They judge others by what they can get from them, like wealth, status, or admiration. This quick evaluation helps them in the short term, but it often puts them in settings that don't work out. What they don't understand is that real help and connection are not as easy to copy or replace as they think. Immediately after you leave, a narcissist might try to convince themselves and anyone else who will listen that they've moved on to someone better. They might go out of their way to show off their new relationship by posting fake pictures of themselves being happy, or talking about things in their life that they know will hurt. But this is often just a cover to hide how uncomfortable they really are. When they don't get the steady flow of food that you used to give them, they start to feel withdrawal, even if they aren't fully aware of it. They might get a short-term high from a new source of attention, but it doesn't have the depth and dependability they've come to expect. This is where the cracks in their front start to show. Narcissists often think they can replace important people in their lives better than they really can. Their overinflated sense of self makes them think that the new supply will fill the gap and give them the same amount of support and approval. They often find out that this isn't true as time goes on, though. They might not be happy with the new supply, or they might start to see that the relationship isn't as easy as they thought it would be. For a narcissist who loves being in charge and knowing what will happen next, this knowledge can be very upsetting. When their new relationship doesn't give them the same sense of security or admiration, they start to feel more and more unhappy. For you, seeing this happen can be both painful and educational. It's normal to feel hurt when they act like they don't care about you or quickly replace you. But it's important to remember that their actions don't show how valuable you are. Narcissists have a different emotional range and put their own wants ahead of everyone else's. They often get stuck in a cycle of unhappy relationships and unfulfilled needs because they can't respect others for who they really are. This pattern comes from the fact that they don't put much thought into their connections, which means they never get the depth and meaning they quietly want but can't quite grasp. When a narcissist gets a new supply, it often makes them feel excited for a short time. It gives them a rush, a short-term high that makes them think they've moved on or improved without any problems. But below this surface level of happiness is a sadness that they can't quite put into words. They're only excited about the new person, and that energy is short-lived and based on novelty. As this first spark goes away, they start to notice what's missing. It slowly dawns on them that the new source doesn't have the same depth, support, and stability that you used to offer. The truth of this rarely hits them all at once. Instead, it slowly creeps up on them like a shadow, getting heavier as their new supply fails to meet their ever-growing wants and expectations. Nasty people don't miss you in the way that most people think of missing someone. They don't pine for you because they loved you or liked you in a healthy, two-way way. What they forget is the part you played in the story they made up. For them, you were more than just a person. You were an important source of approval, a constant source of admiration, and a source of mental support. Without you, their carefully put-together world starts to fall apart. They don't feel as in charge of or excited about things as they used to. When someone they used to get a lot of emotional support goes, it leaves a hole that is hard to ignore, even if they don't want to say it. Even after they get a new substitute, the problem with the one they chose becomes clear over time. The new supply, no matter how eager or willing to help, often doesn't have the special traits they thought made you special. One type of person who really cares about the narcissist is called grade A supply. Unlike shallow admirers who only feed their ego, grade A supply offers a deeper connection, emotional depth, unwavering support, and maybe even a sense of grounding that the narcissist needs more than they know. During the relationship, they may have thought your help was normal or expected. But now that you're gone, they have to face how important you were to their sense of stability and worth. When you're not around narcissists, the timing of your departure is very important to them. Some people feel the void you leave right away. As soon as they can't reach you, either because you left or because they threw you away, a big hole appears in their life. Behind closed doors, they might not show it, but losing their main source of approval makes them feel bad. It takes longer for some people to feel the effects. It could be weeks or even months before they fully understand what they've lost, usually because they are too excited about their new source at first. But in the end, they have to face truth. Even though they try hard, the new person can't meet the narcissist's constant expectations or recreate the way you two used to interact. It is important to know that the new supply's failure is not a reflection of a flaw in them as a person. It's because they're not you. The narcissist will try very hard to make their new supply act like you, but they will never be able to copy the unique traits you brought into their life. The depth of your emotions, your kindness, and your unwavering support were all unique to you and can't be easily copied by anyone else. This understanding starts to bother the narcissist over time, even if they are not aware of it. As the narcissist gets less happy with their new source of pleasure, they often think about you again. They might start to romanticize the past and forget why the relationship stopped or how they hurt the other person. This selective remembering is a way for them to deal with their problems. It lets them avoid taking responsibility for what they did, while still longing for what they used to have. They might not say that you were important to their security, but the fact that they feel unstable without you says a lot. They will either understand it right away or need some time to process it. But one thing is for sure, your absence leaves a mark that can't be easily erased. For narcissists, this is where their biggest flaw stands out. Because they can't make deep, important, and mutually beneficial connections, they're always chasing an illusion, an ideal of approval and validation that they can never really hold on to. They want to feel important and appreciated, but they don't have the emotional strength to value or care for the people who make them feel that way. It seems like they are always reaching for something, but their hands can't get a hold of it in a way that will make them happy in the long term. This never-ending search makes them emotionally hungry, always on the lookout for the next source of approval, while they don't see the harm they cause. Once they no longer have control of you, their response often says a lot. There may be a lot of activity on their part as they try desperately, almost frantically, to look like they are happy and successful. They might post too much on social media, showing off a new relationship, fun trips, or a life that looks perfect to make you think they've moved on without any problems. Every smile in a picture and every boastful caption is not a sign of real happiness, but a planned way to stay in charge. They want to make a story where they seem unaffected and doing well, but there is a clear void underneath this mask. On the other hand, they might try to connect with you in a roundabout way. You might not hear from them directly. Instead, they might use common friends, people they know, or small gestures to get your attention. This could mean leaving comments on posts made by common friends, sending vague messages that seem meant to get people interested, or finding other ways to let them know you're there. None of these things are done out of real happiness or a need to put things to rest. They are instead based on their need to prove how important they are in your life. The narcissist doesn't necessarily want you back. All they want is to know that you are still thinking about and feeling about them. This obsessive need to stay relevant comes from having a weak and inflated ego that needs constant validation to feel safe. That person still thinks they should be important to you even after you've dumped them. They want to think they have the power to make you react, disturb your peace, or remember the part they played in your life. It's not about love or loss that this need for meaning comes from. It's about control. They want to feel like they still have some control over you, even when you're not around. But here's the most important thing to remember. Your silence may cause the narcissist a lot of stress, but it gives you the most power. You are taking back your time, energy, and sense of self-worth when you choose to leave their harmful influence. Being away from their manipulation for a while is good for you, because it helps you heal and find your own power again. They may be having a hard time with the void you've left behind, but it's not your job to fix their problems. You don't have to suffer because they can't handle loss or need to be validated all the time. To get out of a relationship with a narcissist, you need to put your own health and happiness first, not just their behavior or why they do what they do. It means turning your attention from them to yourself and giving yourself time to heal, grow, and repair. When you put your own wants first, you stop being manipulated and take back the power they used to have over you. By putting yourself first, you can find clarity, peace, and the strength to do well without their impact. The narcissist may keep acting out to show that they are happy or to try to get you to return to their circle. But when you focus on yourself, their actions lose their power. The energy they used to use against you is now what helps you grow. Putting up walls, taking steps to heal, and thinking about yourself all bring you one step closer to a life that isn't controlled by them. They have to face how empty they feel without you there. But more importantly, your absence gives you the chance to fill the empty places they used to occupy with self-love, peace, and strength. Moving forward helps you understand that healing is more than just leaving the narcissist behind. It's also about becoming a better, smarter, and more true to yourself person. The empty area you leave behind when you walk away is not a void. It's a chance to start over with your life on your own terms. If the narcissist is still having trouble making and keeping real connections, you are enjoying your newfound freedom and showing yourself that you are much stronger than they ever wanted you to think. Thanks so much for sticking with us as we looked into how your absence affects the narcissist. Give this video a like and share it with someone who might need it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more awesome videos like this. Your help is very important to us, and we're glad you're a part of our group. Take care of yourself until next time, and remember that you are stronger than you think. Have you ever thought about how leaving a narcissist really affects them? Real talk, they don't just forget about you. Your removal rocks their world in ways they didn't expect. Hey everyone, welcome back. If this is your first time here, please subscribe, like, and and share this movie with someone who might look for it useful. We're building a group of people who know how hard it is to deal with narcissists together. Today we're going to talk about a question